Beckoning dawn. After the ashes are cleared away, we are forced to ask how will we face this unprecedented dawn. In a short span of time, the people of Mokosh have erected hundreds of barricades across the streets, fragmenting the city into scattered sections and trapping the Oathsworn. More and more reinforcements arrive to support Vasily. Through the camera feed of the Omnishell, he surveys the battlefield and sees engineers, workers, merchants, and even some Oathsworn among the new rebels. More and more Oathsworn defect. The two sides advance at nearly equal pace. Those still in the enemy ranks remain under supervision, yet some risk everything to dash across the crossfire and surrender. With the addition of Oathsworn forces, our firepower grows. Though still inferior to the conglomerate's mercenaries, we now hold the advantage in numbers. The scales of victory gradually tip towards the resistance. The barricades begin to extend beyond the chaotic residential zones. The streets thunder again under the heavy steps of the Omnishell. This time, it truly stands as Mokosh's guardian.
Amuni no kara yo, wareware no zentou o hirake!
Vasily maneuvers the Omnishell to shield his allies from incoming fire and impact. The massive automaton advances into the commercial district, pushing through the conglomerate's heavy firepower. Its tunneling armor proves effective, opening a path. Ulrich's escort team follows closely behind.
このまま正面から突入するつもりですか？そりゃかっこいいですけど、重機械といえど、さすがにそれは無理なんじゃ。
A grenade slams toward the Omnishell. Yushebne intercepts it with a kick, her frame stalling under the force. Suomi steps in, and together they deflect it back into enemy lines. With a boom, chaos erupts among the enemy.
あんなものがアムニの殻に命中でもしたら。
真の勇者は決闘にたじろぎなどせぬ。
そういう問題じゃなくてですね、今の状況だとアムニの方向が詰まっちゃってる。
Using tactics similar to the commanders, the corporate mercenaries display far superior combat discipline compared to the Oathsworn. They start using various methods to restrict the Omnishell's movement, including high magnetic adhesive shells, which is a weakness that Vasily never accounted for when he first constructed the automaton. Fortunately, he is not alone.
任せろ。
Ulrich bolts off Dushebne's and Suomi's shoulders, grabs onto the Omnishell, and climbs up toward the cannon. Standing atop the swaying machine amid the hail of bullets, Ulrich becomes an obvious target. She dodges desperately while inching closer to the base, clearing debris from the rotating platform. Behind her, Lotta clambers up the automaton carrying a thick wooden board. Bullets fly toward Ulrich while the terrified and pale-faced Lotta steels herself and blocks them with the board. She made it. Lotta lets out a long breath. At the same time, Ulrich finally completes her task.
よし、バシル、やってくれ。
In response, the cannon rotates freely again.
問題なさそうだ。
Behind the Omnishell, the first sandbag lands in the commercial district with a thump, then the second, then the third. Wood, scrap metal bins, broken bricks. Mokosh's residents pile debris into makeshift fortifications, raising a mound crowned with a tattered flag.
みんな、私に続け。モコシよ、自分たちの町を取り戻すのだ。
Vasily's hoarse yet resolute voice booms through the loudspeaker, echoed by the resistance. Improvised explosives, rockets, even explosive javelins are hurled chaotically at the enemy. The defected Oathsworn and the dolls weave a disciplined net of fire, steadily gaining the upper hand. Elsewhere, the conglomerate's forces still maintain a higher kill ratio. The resistance pushes forward behind the Omnishell, paying for the progress in blood. At the height of the stalemate, both sides suddenly cease fire. A booming voice takes command of the battlefield.
全モコシュ衛兵隊武器を下ろせ
Their Oathsworn's commander appears with the last unit, flanking the mercenaries with Basile's forces. Basile notices that he is apparently wounded by gunfire, supported by two young Oathsworn. He stands atop a transport, looking at the Omnishell and at Basile within.
準備は整ったぞ首席エンジニア他のエリアでの戦闘も全て型がついた
降伏したのか
Across Mokosh, similar scenes unfold. Oathsworn joining the resistance, even subduing the mercenaries. As expected, Wolfgar foresaw this before the battle began. His arrival completely crushes what little will to fight remained among the Oathsworn. No matter how the conglomerate's officers shout, no Oathsworn are willing to raise their guns against Basile's side anymore.
俺もモコシュ人だ俺らのほとんどはここで生まれ育ってきたバシルにつこうもうこれ以上衛兵隊の手をモコシュ人の血で染めるわけにはいかない
ありがとうすまないがそこをどいてくれ
さあ道を
降伏は許さん裏切り者にしよう
Ignoring the collapsing situation, the conglomerate's officer suddenly gives the order. Even under Oathsworn guns, most mercenaries pull the trigger. Their heavy armor allows them to dominate close-range combat despite being outnumbered.
裏切り者は敵だ殺せ
首席エンジニアに続けバシルに続くんだモコシュはモコシュ人のものだ財団のものじゃない
モコシュ衛兵隊が守るべきはモコシュだジョージじゃないモコシュのために戦うなら私たちは仲間だアムリの殻の後ろに来てくれ
The brief clash ends quickly, but with even heavier losses. The Oathsworn suffer heavy losses, and the mercenaries lose many lightly armored units, yet they quickly reposition into a defensive line, holding firm. It is undeniably the correct decision. Unlike the people of Mokosh, who have committed everything, the conglomerate still has reinforcements advancing from across the Yellow Zone. Just as George claimed, they are far from exhausted.
バシル進み続けてくれ偽りの誓いを捨てた俺たちにできるのはモコシュの明日を切り開くことだけだ
射撃用意
Something arcs through the air and crashes into the enemy front with a mighty impact, scattering them instantly.
そよ風出撃
They have circled around to the rear of the enemy's ranks, where they now strike like thunder at Zaoi's command.
人形に気をつけろ
お姉ちゃん今の見たすごかったでしょほんと待ちくたびれちゃったよ
Diane lets out the chuckle while covering Jiangyu's charge. Swinging her battle axes, Faye tears through the crowd like a whirlwind, leaving mercenaries collapse on the ground in her wake.
いいぞみんな後に続け商業エリアを占領するんだ
The Omnishell presses onward once again and the resistance fighters cheer behind it. The roar of battle echoes from the central district. My heartbeat cannot help but quicken at the thunderous sound. Following M200's tip off, we near George's secret base, which is where he has decided to hole up after withdrawing from the pharmaceutical plant.
目標地点付近に到達。
検問はもぬけの殻ね。
This is clearly unusual, but it's also our chance.
検問所をくぐり目標地点へと接近する。
As we enter the residential settlement, I attempt to contact Dandelion.
ダンデライオン聞こえる？
私の声
なんですって？信号が安定しないわね。M200 との連絡はつく？私たちはジョージを追ってる。M200 の助けが必要なの。本人に連絡してみたけど繋がらないわ。
今はどう？私も彼女に連絡がつかないの。自分からネットワークモジュールを閉じたのかもしれないわ。ジャミングの可能性もあるわね。
前に連絡を取ったのはいつ？
あなたが彼女からの座標を受け取る前よ。
どうしてそれを？
それはともかく嫌な予感がするの。彼女の集めたデータも無駄になるかもしれない。早く探した方がいい。
ダンデライオン？
No response. After a few seconds, the call disconnects automatically. Now even I'm starting to feel uneasy.
みんな急ごう。
Nobody says anything as we advance. Only our rapid footsteps can be heard.
この先です。
It is impossible to overlook the conspicuous bullet holes on the wall. There are also slashes and burn marks everywhere. Ruined walls line the streets. Explosions have scattered debris and embedded shrapnel all over. Even through my protective suit, I can almost smell the char.
指揮官、あれ M200 の銃じゃないかしら。見てくる。
Macchiato picks up a firearm not far away. She shakes her head a moment later.
確認したわ。M200 の銃で間違いない。マガジンは空よ。ここであの二人の人形と遭遇したのかも。
ジョージを捕まえる他に M200 の状態の確認も任務に加えておいて。可能であれば助ける。
了解。
各小隊準備して。あの建物に突入する。
待ちなさい。
At the end of the street, a lone figure stands before the building. The dust swirling in the wind obscures the figure's form and features.
シーヤよ。
なら M200 はまさかもう。
Macchiato grits her teeth and swallows her anguish. Something seems different about Tia. The frontmost dolls have already stepped into Tia's attack range. Even against her coordinated assault, Tia's face remains impassive. She simply swings the Morning Star in her hand. Heavy impacts ring out in succession. The dolls' offensive stalls, forcing them to leap back and halt.
はい、はや。
なんて力。
In the tense silence of the stand-up, exaggerated applause suddenly echoes from the rooftop of the target building.
いいぞ、実に素晴らしい。 そうだ、低級な量産型どもにお前の実力を見せてやれ。
George's loud, piercing voice follows immediately, amplified by some device.
お前とはこうならずに済む道もあったはずだがな。何せお前はモコシュのものではない。
George looks toward me, a forced enthusiastic smile plastered onto his face, almost like when we first met.
あまり理想を抱くな、指揮官よ。冷静に考えてもみろ。私や財団がなくなってモコシが今より繁栄する確証などどこにある。救世主にでもなったつもりか。ともすればこれは神の手違いで、お前は処刑を早める極悪人だったのかもしれんぞ。
御託で時間を稼ぐつもりなら無駄よ。ジョージ、お前に逃げ場はない。
その言葉そっくりそのまま返してやろう。指揮官よ、この先ありとあらゆる難題がバシルとモコシュ、そしてお前を待ち受けることだ。お前たちのような理想主義者は楽には死ねんぞ。
Two shots ring out. Macchiato and Kluke each fire a round. Tia's movements are even faster than before. She steps directly into the bullets' trajectories and knocks them aside.
話はここまでのようだな。まあいいさ。そっちが引かないつもりならこちらも全力を尽くすだけだ。
George claps again. At his signal, the ground begins to shake. A continuous thunderous rumble rises from below, like the roar of some ancient beast awakening.
地震？
地下に空洞があるわね。何らかの機械装置が移動する音よ。
Within seconds, the noise grows deafening, overwhelming all voices. Surrounding buildings begin to rise, as if granted life by whatever lies beneath. They grow upward, straining toward the sky. In just a few minutes, the ordinary residences are replaced by towering columns.
何よこれ。
見て、柱に扉まであるわよ。面白い。
The columns burst from the ground, revealing doors at their bases. Lorelei signals a warning. Following her gesture, I see the doors slowly lifting, exposing pitch black interiors.
これを持って工場に戻るつもりだったが、まさか標的が自ら罠に落ちるとはな。
Lights flare on inside the openings. Spotlights converge into beams, illuminating the massive machines parked within.
レディース&ジェントルメン、財団による最新鋭の障壁突破開拓プラットフォーム、ご覧あれ。
George places a hand over his chest and performs an exaggerated bow.
これを手に入れるのに苦労したぞ。さあ指揮官、最上級の道具に殺されるのを光栄に思え。
George steps back as a heavy transport aircraft lowers its ramp to receive him.
シーヤ、失望させるな。そしてゲストの皆様、私はこの完璧な観客席から鑑賞しておりますゆえ。
させるか。
Macchiato's sniper shot is as flawless as ever, but the conglomerate's transport is equipped with an expensive shield generator. Even its usual weak points are fully protected. He takes aim again, then abruptly swings the barrel toward the nearer, more urgent threat. Tia's gaze locks directly onto me as she steps forward, causing every doll at my side to tense. Luke spreads her arms, standing in front of me. The way she stares at Tia reminds me of a Black Panther, back arched and fur bristling. Lorelai's smile fades as well, her expression turning serious.
お母様、どこかで見ていらっしゃるのでしょう。どうか今の私たちを見ていてください。それが彼女の、私たちの願いです。今の私たちにはこれまでとは完全に異なる力を感じ取れます。この力はお母様が私たちに与えるはずだった力ですか？
As if in response, several Chimera Centurions roll out of their base. Within seconds, the assault breacher vehicles are pointed toward us. Yet for some reason, George seems dissatisfied, repeatedly tapping at his terminal.
起動。なんだ、一体どうなってる？
George, who has been watching the Chimera Centurions closely, suddenly realizes something.
指揮官、障壁突破者の一部がジョージの制御を逃れた模様。
壊れたってこと？何台もの高精度設備を稼働させるには彼一人じゃ無理よ。この設備を導入した時は十中八九 AI 中枢が彼に代わって命令を下していたはず。その中枢がどこかにあるはずなのよね。それに何か問題が起きてる。
幸運の女神は私たちに微笑んだみたいね。今よ、総員攻撃準備。
No, maybe this isn't luck. I think back to the little gifts I have received since entering Mokosh. Now I know they were likely from M200. This might be one of them too. I find myself missing that little one.
404小隊は足回りを狙って、ズッキロは真ん中の弱点を攻撃。
I mark a clearly malfunctioning Chimera Centurion and order it as a breakthrough point.
ローレライはみんなの防御サポートを。各自正面からの攻撃に気をつけて。総員行動開始。
私の銃が見たい？うん？やっぱり故障かしら。原因はわからないけど突破口にはなりそうよ。
あの状況を引き伸ばしたり周囲に拡散させる方法があれば。
やってみます。
ただ眠いだけなんじゃない？
命令して。まだ降参しちゃダメ。 ここからが本番よ。
訓練の成果ね。ハンデをあげる。眠い。
逃がしたっての。私が終わらせる。
引っ張らないでよ。
The last active Chimera Centurion grinds to a halt with a creak. At the same time, thunderous cheers erupts from the central district.
そんなバカな、あれだけの大金をはたいてどうすればいい。まだモコシとシーヤがダメだダメだダメだ。
With no way left to respond to the situation, George breaks down in genuine tears and collapses weakly to the ground.
そうだ、逃げるのだ。グリーンエリアに行ってツイマーマンさんに。まだ終わりじゃない。私にはあのお方がついてる。あのお方がいればモコシを取り戻せる。飛べ！
Amid George's near hysterical shouting, the aircraft rises to its maximum altitude and flies off into the distance. My terminal chimes, a communication request from Ulrid.
指揮官、作戦は順調だ。商業エリアを占領したぞ。
Ulrid reports in. She has taken some damage in combat, but victory leaves her radiant. Beside her, Suomi wipes soot from her face and grins at me.
指揮官、指揮官。ああ、私の超完璧なパフォーマンス、指揮官に見せてあげたかったな。こうなるって分かってたら録画しとくんだった。
Jiang Yu squeezes into frame and waves at me. Behind her, Vasily is just stepping down from the Omni Shell and walking over.
モコシのみんなが加わってくれたおかげだ。それと衛兵隊たちも。彼らの多くが私たちに味方してくれたんだ。指揮官、君にならジョージを倒せると思っていたよ。
次の作戦をまだ覚えてる？
もちろん。中央オフィスビルを制圧し、モコシを解放する。
そうだったわね。私も楽しみよ。でも少し待ってくれない？ちょっとした用事ができちゃって後で合流するわ。
わかった。ビルの前で待ってるぞ。
指揮官、目標の建物のゲートは片付けたわよ。 M200 を探しに行くわ。もしかしたらまだ。
Macchiato turns and runs toward a small building, her pace quickening.
私も行くわ。みんなもついてきて。